me, Katie Beth again, and
Jason.
And we're on our birthday trip to Yellowstone National Park. We haven't really planned it at all, so we're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah, and watch out for bison.
So from our house to Yellowstone, we need to go through 7 different states, and that starts us off through the deserts of California. One of the cool Californian landmarks we went by was the world's tallest thermometer out in Baker. And in Nevada, we drove by the 7 Magic Mountain Rocks on the way to Vegas, and we also stopped to take some selfies. One huge problem we came upon on our trip was that public restrooms just weren't open. But after trying a Panda Express and a grocery store that both had closed bathrooms, we found this restaurant here that had open restrooms for paying customers, and for road trip food, it was pretty healthy. Next, we drove through beautiful Arizona into Utah, where we drove straight to Salt Lake City, where we would end up staying for the night. And just sharing with you what travel accommodations are like right now, we stayed at the Hampton Inn in Salt Lake City, and it was about $98. And this is the view. $98 gets you in Salt Lake City, Utah. And we were super excited to find that the gym was open, and it was open by appointment, so only one couple could go in every hour. And in between those couples, they were cleaning the equipment, according to the lady at the front desk. After checking out, we hit all the major sightseeing venues. There's a University of Utah, this large Mormon church, and the state capitol of Utah building. And before heading out of Utah, we did stop at the Salt Lake, and they do charge you a $15 National Park state fee of $15 to go out and see this. This area is also where we saw our first sighting of bison, both the real ones and the ceramic ones. I don't actually know what these are made of, but they're pretty cool, and we found them a lot on our trip. Next, we headed into Idaho, and I didn't get a picture of the state sign because maps just kept doing that Monty Python thing where you keep heading towards the line, and then you think you're reaching it, and you never do, and then all of a sudden you're past it. Idaho Falls was our next stop, and it was beautiful. And of course, since we were in Idaho, we had to stop and get some Idaho potatoes, which we experienced firsthand are not the large Idaho russet potatoes we're used to. According to the Googles, the large potatoes we're used to mostly get shipped out of state, and they have smaller potatoes here. You were not expecting that. Lodgings were slightly more expensive here in Idaho. Our Hampton suite here was about $125, and this is what a $125 view in Idaho looks like. Another interesting aspect to our room here at the Hampton, it had this AC that just wanted to make sure I was awake for my midnight birthday. It had this motor that just kept going, and it kind of vibrated off of the walls in the room, and at one point I thought it was a car alarm outside, but it was this AC. And on to more important things, they did have a gym open at this Hampton. However, it was just open. It wasn't limited to a certain amount of people, and we had to clean the machines ourselves. They also had an interesting version of the continental breakfast, but free included food is free included food. Still better than nothing, I guess. So, it's my birthday, everyone.
Woo! Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm now 35. And I have now been to like 6 different states in my life. 4 of them were on this trip in the last few days. So with that experience, I can say the weird things between states is the more northern from California states like Utah and Idaho don't have toilet seat covers in their public restrooms. That's real weird. It's real weird. So I don't know if it's a sit with your full butt on the toilet seat or a squatting type of culture. What do you think?
I didn't notice that.
Because you squat anyways, or you full butt sit?
Do you mean the rim or the lid over the...
Say the paper seat you put on the toilet and then sit on that so you're not sharing butt germs with all of the state.
Yeah, I mean, not... There are some bathrooms in California that don't have those.
A few. But even a lot of almost like the nicer porta potties have them. Like if you go to a gas station, they have toilet seat covers. But if you go to a gas station out here, I had to tear off pieces of toilet paper to fit the toilet seat.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
So you gotta do what you gotta do. Have you noticed anything else between states?
I've already been to a lot of these states, so
Look at this globetrotter.
it wasn't a shock. Just very rural. It's just farmland and a lot of flat land, driving from little town to little town.
I feel like it kind of looks like if you're from California and you've ever been to San Bernardino, it looks pretty much exactly like that, but with less graffiti. So now we're going to continue on and go to 2 new states today. So today we're gonna go through Montana a little and then hit
Wyoming.
woo and see some more buffaloes.
Maybe some wolves. That'd be cool.
What I'm super excited about is the weather. Hopefully we'll get some cooler weather. I'm wearing a flannel today, which is pretty exciting because we only get to wear wintry clothes like 2 weeks out of the year in California. And it's August, and I get to wear a flannel. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yep. Birthday video.
Woo! Woo! Okay, let's travel.
Okay.
And we hit the road again on our way to Montana. And I wanted to point out in this picture, the feeling on this highway felt just like we were on Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway. The mountains over here on the side looked like the ocean, and the atmosphere, it actually felt like we were on the California coast, which was kind of crazy. And finally, we arrived in Montana, our 6th state in our interstate travels. We stopped at the Firehole Barbecue Company, which is a Texas-styled barbecue. And it was that Texas-styled barbecue we enjoy eating. This part of Montana had a cute little old town. And a quick thing to notice, this is the last place to get gas before you go into Yellowstone National Park. So you might want to fill up just in case you get lost like I did and use up a lot of gas. And here you can see the buffalo that Jason earlier foreshadowed, where you can also see wolves. And finally, on our 3rd day of travel, we arrived at the Yellowstone National Park. There is a $35 fee for normal vehicles to head on into this park, but they do accept credit card, which might actually be a better form of monetary trading to do during this time. Now, in the park, this is our first wildlife sighting. And shortly after that, we started to see geysers. We also started to see a lot of people, and a lot of people not wearing masks. So in this time period, please remember to wear your mask and protect yourself and try to help protect others. Aside from remembering to fill up on gas before you head on into the park, it's a great idea to download your maps ahead of time or have them printed out in hard copy, because once my turn-by-turn directions went out, I added about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes onto our trip to Old Faithful because I just got lost. Adventure! So Old Faithful goes off about every 90 minutes. This is what she looks like most of the time, with just some little warning squirts. And this is her going into full bloom. I've sped this clip up a little just for time's sake, but if you'd like to see a longer full-length video of her, stay tuned to the end of this video and I'll put a full-length clip. And the Continental Divide also goes through Yellowstone National Park, so we were kind of excited to take a picture with this sign because we watch a lot of YouTube hikers take that trip. Leaving Yellowstone National Park, we actually got to see a lot of buffalo. These guys were right next to the highway, about 15 feet away from our car. Pretty exciting and pretty scary. Transitioning out of the national park, we found ourselves in Wyoming, which is the most beautiful state I have ever seen. The next town we stopped in was Jackson or Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it's also one of my new favorite downtowns or old towns. And here's one of the famous antler arches in the middle of the town. We did stop for dinner here at a little pizzeria with a speakeasy vibe entrance. And much to our relief, they were social distancing tables, and they did have working restrooms we could use, which was awesome. Wyoming was pretty much the prettiest state I've ever seen. I've now seen 8 of them. However, I do like it less now that I got a speeding ticket
Oh yeah,
for driving 45 miles an hour right before a highway.
she was going 50% faster than the speed limit. The cop
He said
informed her.
it. Yeah, he said it was 30 miles an hour. Didn't see it posted anywhere, but I guess it was there if I got a ticket for it.
Yeah, it was kind of a trap, speed trap.
Definitely a speed trap, and I fell for it.
But I hadn't been to Montana or Wyoming myself, and got those 2 boxes checked. It's pretty amazing. Beautiful, huge mountains.
Yeah, what are the mountains called?
The Tetons.
The Teton Mountains. Super pretty. They make everything around them just beautiful. Yeah.
Now we're back in Idaho, in Driggs.
It actually looks like a pretty cool town. But again, Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho, and Montana. I did pee in Montana, and they also did not have toilet seat covers. It's really irritating. But I have seen signs that say, hey, our plumbing sucks, don't put your tampons down the toilet, so maybe that's part of it. Pretty gross, but I guess that's part of living in places that are not as civilized as California.
Wow.
But Wyoming was beautiful. Now I must retract some of my statement. On our drive home, all of the places we stopped at to use the restroom had toilet seat covers. Our drive home consisted of the scenic routes of Utah, Arizona, and Nevada, which led us to our unintentional stay in Las Vegas during this pandemic. And of course, we made a video about it. So if you'd like to find out what Las Vegas is like during this unprecedented time, click that link at the top of this video, and it should lead you right to that video about how Las Vegas is handling the pandemic. Well, thanks for traveling with us, everyone. Please like and subscribe below for more adventures, and remember to stay safe out there. Adventure!
Don't wash you.